Hi, my name is Bailey Paul Baird, and my partner is Paris Johnson, and this is our case study presentation. The first topic that we're going to talk about, which is my topic, is playing injured players when they may not be ready to play, or letting them stay in the game when they get injured when they should be taken out. So I chose this topic because I have some experience with this from my own life. In high school, I played football, and my brother also played football. And during his senior season, my sophomore year, um, he got a couple minor concussions, and after the first concussion, our coach actually told him that he wanted him to from now on, if he felt like he may have had a concussion, to come to him, and he would decide whether he was ready to go back into the game or whether he needed to miss some practices or any games. My brother was a tough player and didn't want to let small things like that. Well, concussions aren't really small, but things that seemed small to him at the time, he didn't want to let that hold him back, so he kind of just went along with it. And then after the season, he told my parents about it, and obviously my parents weren't very happy with that. They actually decided to write a letter to the athletic director to explain the situation because they didn't think it was okay for the coach to be doing that and making those types of decisions when he's not a doctor or a nurse or an athletic trainer or anything like that, obviously. So they wrote that letter to the athletic director, but I mean, in the long run, nothing ended up coming from it. I don't know if they even brought it up to the coach. Some things to consider. Obviously, concussions are very serious and can cause permanent brain damage and even death. A couple stats that I got online. There were 120 sports-related deaths of young athletes in 2008, 2009, 15 2010, and 40 in 2011. And also another statistic, 50% of second impact syndrome incidents, which are brain injury caused from a premature return to activity after suffering initial injury. 50% of those resulted in death. I got both of those stats from clearedtoplay.org. There's some other good statistics on that website. A couple discussion questions for the group members to go over and respond to. Who should make the decision whether players with minor injuries should play, and what should the decision-making process be like? And what should happen to coaches who allow/make players play while injured or who aren't ready to return to the game? A few web sources to get more information on this topic. The first one was clearedtoplay.org, where I got the statistics from. There's a lot more good information on that website. The second one is brainandspinalcord.org, and it's specifically about the second impact syndrome. And then the last link is to sportingnews.com. It's a story from the NFL last season about Redskins coach Mike Shanahan. I guess he allowed Robert Griffin III to stay in the game even though he was hurt, and it caused a bunch of controversy, and they were thinking about firing him. So those are three good sources to get some more information. Now I'm going to pass it on to Paris to talk about our second topic.
I'm Paris Johnson. My case study project is about the National Football League's misuse of pain-killing medication. I recently joined the class action lawsuit against the National Football League alleging illegal and rampant misuse of pain-killing medication like Toradol injections that has led to debilitating injuries and long-term health problems. The class action lawsuit was filed on behalf of hundreds of former players in the San Francisco Federal Court. The NFL's unethical misuse of pain-killing pills and injections without a doctor's prescription or explanation of the long-term side effects was unlawful in itself. Players, including myself, who needed to miss games because of various injuries, was forced to play after receiving a pain-killing Toradol injection. Players wasn't physically forced, but like the old saying goes, you can't make the club in a tub. So if you don't play, you cannot benefit the team. And if you can't benefit the team, ultimately you will be cut. So players like myself, you take the shot, you fight through the pain, and after a Toradol injection, you are completely void of any pain until the injection wears off later that night. So in order to sleep, you are forced to take more pain-killing medication. Further complicating the matter, players are never warned of the negative side effects of repeatedly receiving injections over a period of time. This negative cycle of medical malpractice is very a part of the NFL culture. According to a recent lawsuit, the NFL has, quote, intentionally, recklessly, and negligently developed a culture of drug misuse, substituting players' health for profit, end quote. Players seek financial compensation for the long-term chronic injuries that they suffer from. Also, financial losses and long-term health care for future problems they may suffer in the future. The question I pose to you, do you believe that it is ethical for NFL doctors and head athletic trainers to administer prescription pain-killing drugs, forcing players to play without informing them of the long-term health benefits? Informing them of the long-term health risk.